bread and butter of our business is tastings, but this is a supplement, and it's a great supplement during the holiday season because this is a way that you can, you know, kind of expand your customer base by getting to know different people from a, you know, maybe a different city, a different, you know, group that we're going to talk about. And I think is critical is three things: being open, being engaged, and following through. Just like Karen said, the most important thing about an event is that we're not coming here to sell product. That's kind of the catalyst to meet people, but really the purpose is to meet people, to get bookings, and to introduce this product line to people that might be interested in the business. So what I like to do and what I think is most important is to have an attractive booth. I've been to a lot of events, and I walk around and I always sum up, you know, who I would be attracted to when I go into that event. And I think it's really key because in 5 seconds, you guys, somebody is going to make a decision if they're going to walk into this personal space or not. So the most important thing is that you want to look like you're in business. And if you're sitting down, you're not in business. You have to be up. Because when you're up and you're standing and you're engaged with people coming in from, you know, the door, and with a smile on your face, you're saying welcome, and you're engaging them to come to your booth and to learn about what Wildtree is about. So it's very, very important that you look the best that you can, even though, you know, I think sometimes people come to these events thinking that it's going to be a casual atmosphere, and so they dress very casual. I think you can dress business casual, but you know, from the waist up, people are going to make a decision if you are in business or if you're a business person. So you want to make sure that you look professional, that you've got makeup on, that you've done your hair, and that you are presentable to people that are going to come in to your space. Okay, so how about our space? I believe that less is more. If you have too much product on a table, I think the mind gets confused and they do nothing. Be talking to somebody who's just come up to the table, be able to be engaged with somebody who's been tasting and that I still want to keep them tasting more of my food, and the person that's ready to buy. So I've got 3 things that I'm going to have to be juggling at one time. So if I have way too much food that I'm having to explain about, then I'm going to lose people as they walk away because they're not getting what they need from me. So the less that you have and the more engaged that you can be with those people that come up to the table, the more likely you're going to have successful sales. Okay? These are the things that I typically always sell at my events. And roasted garlic rapeseed oil, the natural, the butter, and the zesty lemon. And why? Because I think these are probably the most popular that I've sold. I know how to use them because I use them myself at home, and I think it's important to sell things that you're familiar with because you can talk about them and your passion is going to transfer to that person on the other side, and then they're going to get that energy, and then they're going to be more apt to buy. And then I do 1 or 2 sauces, either the Asian ginger plum and the Wicked Good, or the Thai sesame sun butter and the Kickin' Asian. I've had tremendous amount of success with the Kickin' Asian and the Thai, and so I usually always sell those. But again, depends on how much room I have at my table. That's always been good. Garlic galore to me is a staple. It's you know, 90% of the women that have come up to this table and men love garlic, and it's great as a dip. It's great for putting in smashed potatoes. It's great for, you know, rubbing on meats. So it has a lot of versatility, and I think to the taste, it's really good. Now, when you're at an event and you're going to be sensitive about, you know, especially if the health department's involved, then, you know, I'm not going to encourage that you use a mayonnaise and a sour cream base. So you could mix this just with an oil, like the natural oil, just so that people can taste its garlicness. But that's, when I typically am at an event that the health department, I've had to fill out a temporary food license, I strictly stay with oils and herb blends because I don't want to create any problems, and I just know I can sell these things just as well as I can sell anything else. But what I do, and is key here, is that I take my rodeo rub and my chipotle lime, and I mix them into chipotle lime with oyster crackers. So it's really easy. I can do this in a Ziploc bag. I just pour them in a Ziploc bag. I put a little bit of oil, natural oil, inside, shake it up, and then put the blend in and shake it up again. And it coats them with a nice little flavor that you guys can try here soon. And the health department is fine with it. Okay. Same thing with the rodeo nuts. I just take canister of peanuts, or you could use mixed nuts. I think we forget a lot about this, is you need some workspace. When somebody's going to buy, you need to have some area that you can write up the sales ticket, you can put your bag and wrap your product in and put it here while you're working before you hand it off to them. So really key to make sure that you leave yourself a little workspace, because if you don't, you'll be frustrated. I am very big at the holiday season of selling our sets. And when I have a bigger table, I have all 3 sets. I have my Wildtree 8-pack, my infused set, and my garlic lover set. To me, I have had great success selling them, especially the 8-pack and the infused set as gifts. A lot of mothers will buy it for daughters that are either living away, that are single, or just for a great gift for a young family. So it's a really, I find it a great option, and I offer them a little bit of a discount if they buy them both, and I will include the recipes that come along with the 8-pack, because we've got some online.
Jill, I also sell those and tell people they can use them as stocking stuffers, so they split them up.
Oh,
and throw them in stockings, because they're just little, so they can split up those packs.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So the Wildtree 8-pack is a nice avenue for breaking them apart and sticking them in as stocking stuffers. Great idea. The other thing that I didn't get a chance to do, but I think is really important, and is gift wrapping these. If you gift wrap your sets ahead of time and you have them stacked on your table, or if you've got a little table in the back, that's for just for storage, it really looks pretty. It just kind of helps them to make the decision, because it's like, oh, it's already wrapped, let me take it. So I didn't get a chance to do that, but I would encourage you to do it. And what I do is I take into account my color scheme, and I wrap accordingly. I keep it simple. I don't do a big fancy, wrap with bow. I just wrap them with wrapping paper and just make it so it just looks, it coordinates with my colors here. And let me talk about my colors. I'm pretty dead set on black, and I'll tell you why. I think that our product line really pops on black. I think it looks good on black. And I think you can find a black tablecloth anywhere. Thing that I love about it is you'll find people are messy, and when they come to sample your oils, they're going to get oil on your tablecloth. And black does not show. I use these because this is going to catch the oil, and I can replace them easy as the day goes on. I can just pull them off, throw them away, or turn them over if it's not really bad. And then I have a black linen napkin underneath here that I fold, and that is so that when there's a break and there's a lull in the action, I can pull this off, I can shake it out, I can fold it over to a different side so that the oil doesn't show, and then my table looks clean again. I think it's very key, you guys, that you keep your table clean as much as you can. Sometimes, you're just so busy, you just can't do it. But if you have a moment, you need to come in the front and clean your table off, because it just makes it much more appealing when new people walk up to your table, and it doesn't look like the herd of horses have run through it. I also keep just a little bit of blends and oil in my cups. I don't do a lot. Secondly, you know, when people come through and they dip their bread in here, sometimes pieces of bread get caught in, and you don't really want to pick it out. You just want to throw it away and get a new cup full. So if you know, and you'll be surprised. A little of oil will last a long time, and you just don't want to have a full glass and then it gets contaminated and you have to throw it out. So keep your oil level pretty low, and you'll find you'll get a rhythm for the day. You'll see if it's going to be a busy day or not, and you know if, well, you know what, I better really fill the oil up to a, you know, to a higher level if you know that you're just going to have a lot of people coming through. So over here is where I stack my breads, my mustards, my jams. Again, I don't take a lot of this stuff because I want more people to buy my oils and my blends than I do, you know, all the ancillary other great products that we have in the catalog. But it's up to you. I think there's some natural things that sell. I think some of our holiday breads, like our pumpkin and our cranberry orange, are really popular. I love, I sold a lot of our gingerbread and our spiced carrot cake last year, so I think those are really good to sell.
The pumpkin pancakes, I think, can be kind of a fun. And what I'll do sometimes too is I'll even just have, just almost for decoration, sometimes I just have an assortment of things just so that they can get a picture. Like I'll have a box, and it's not, I don't necessarily have it there to sell, but just as kind of background, like I'll have a pizza dough and a meatloaf mix and a skillet meal and a tortilla soup, so that when I'm talking about what Wildtree is, I can kind of gesture to, you know, we have cooking oils and spice blends and box mixes and sauces and, you know, all this stuff that can help you make dinner. So
right.
I like to sometimes have some visuals there that help them understand what Wildtree is and what else we sell.
Right.
And because that can lead you into, you know, oh, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have a huge product line, and then you can hopefully start talking to them about having a tasting.
And this is what I direct every person that comes to my table to. And I want everybody who is interested in this business for a tasting or looking for the business opportunity to sign this sheet. You know, if they're not interested, if they're not particularly crazy about the product, or it's just not something that they see fitting into their life, I'm not going to get them to sign this sheet. I want those that want more to sign this sheet. And I'm pretty adamant about it. So as they're tasting through and they're buying and they ask me for my card, I'm going to tell them, I want you to sign up and let me send you a link to my website. Okay? I don't give out cards unless I really feel that person's very committed, because you know what happens to business cards. They go in a bag, they get home, and they get tossed. And that's money out of your pocket. So if I really feel that that person is somebody I'm going to definitely connect with, if she's signed up, she's really interested in the tasting, then I'm going to give her my card, and I'm going to also give her a catalog. Now, if you're at a place that, again, you can't put the banner up in the back, then you're going to put the banner on the front. I'm not a big fan of the banner on the front. I think it's fine in the beginning, but as soon as people are standing around your table, nobody can see it. So this is why it's key for me to have my signs. I want people to be able to walk up and see. If I'm busy engaged with somebody else, they can read what I'm about before they even talk to me. Okay? The other thing is, this to me is really important, because this is an opportunity for somebody to read this sign who may be looking for a part-time job, who may be falling in love with our product line, and didn't know that it's a direct selling business, that it's a party plan. So I anchor always my booth, no matter how big or what event I'm doing, with these two pieces of signage.